Oh hey, if you're not a weakling who's afraid of a little color and pattern, you're gonna love today's episode. Welcome back to Laugh Cry DIY. It's your girl Katie, and today I'm about to up a room with some very bold design choices. I am standing in a room that belongs to Brittany and Chris of the Marry Chill podcast. This is the kind of space that a lot of people have in their homes. It is a kind of general use room. It's an office / podcast studio / workout space / kind of general storage room. And as you can see, it's very simple, very plain. Brittany and Chris are also art collectors. They have a lot of really cool, colorful pieces throughout their home. And they thought, what if we just get super wild and super bold in this room? And what if we get a little Memphis? You might not be familiar with the term Memphis design, but I promise you would recognize the aesthetic. It's very 80s, 90s. Think neons, think bold graphic shapes, think about the Saved by the Bell credits. So today, we're just gonna make a few changes to drastically transform this room and make it the bold, graphic, wild office, podcast, studio, workout space of all of our dreams. Now again, because this is a multi-use space, we have moved some pieces of furniture out because they're gonna get flipped. So first up, we're gonna tackle the walls. They filmed their podcast facing this way. They also already have their cool neon sign in background, so that one's perfect. But we wanted to give the remaining 3 walls some personality. We're just gonna go with your classic, safe, neutral, giant black and white striped wallpaper. Hi, welcome to Wallpaper Chat. So we're gonna do striped wallpaper floor to ceiling on 3 of these walls. Black and white stripe feels bold, and you might feel like it's a lot. And guess what? It is. And guess what? We don't care. When you put vertical stripes on a wall, it will elongate the walls and make the room feel bigger. You can do horizontal stripes, and that will make it feel longer. Now, when it comes to stripes, size matters. You can see these are about 5-inch stripes. There was a version of this wallpaper that came with like 2-inch stripes, but we wanted to go with these big, wide 5-inch stripes, just to really make a bold statement because we're extra. So first things first, when you're wallpapering a wall, you want to wipe down and make sure that there's no dust, no cobwebs, things like that that would prevent the wallpaper from sticking. It's paper time, baby. The terrifying thing about this pattern is that it has to go on straight. And guess what? Your walls are not straight. Over time, walls change, they grow, they find themselves, and they do not end up straight. So to ensure that we start our pattern nice and straight, you're gonna wanna get your giant level. This is a 4-foot level. She's beautiful, she's elegant. And you need to mark a guideline all the way down. See the line? Goes all the way up. Now, anytime I'm doing peel and stick wallpaper, I have to use my 3 favorite girls, Kelly, Michelle, Beyonce. This is a box cutter to cut the lines. This is a smoother to smoother, and this is a squeegee to get any air bubbles out. You'll also see that this has a stripe pattern, but it has a very tiny little border of white next to it, and that's so that there's a little bit of overlap so you can perfectly match up your next line. Also, always overorder, overorder, overorder. And that way you can ensure that you have enough and that the color matches, because they print wallpaper in batches and you wanna make sure that you have the same dye lot. Pro tip. It's also always good to do your first piece behind the door, because if there's any wrinkles or anything funky, this is the corner no one's gonna be looking at. First panel is on, it is straight. Look at this line. Let's start a time lapse. You know how the music goes, dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. First strip is an inch short. Cool, cool, cool. That was because this was the first roll, so I didn't totally know how much to cut where, so shouldn't happen again, but you know. Stripes are hard to do alone, so call a friend if you want to do this, or call someone you hate, because it is kind of a nightmare. only is there a gap, that pencil line, the old one, shows through. I don't want to have to undo this whole thing, so I'm gonna erase the bottom line, stick that, and then erase the top line and restick it. And is it erasing at all? So unfortunately, I have to take this whole panel down because when I go like this with the eraser, there's a ton of shavings. So if I do that and I erase the line down, it's all gonna fall and stick on this whole panel and ruin it. This is the saddest moment of my life to date. I just started taking that panel off and the pencil marks have stuck to the adhesive. So whether or not I washed off the wall, the line still appears if we use this panel. I want you to see how hard I've scrubbed and literally how barely faded the line is. And just for a fun fact, we've been working for almost 4 hours, and that's how long that takes, so. We're in the car, we're going to the store because the only thing I know that will help get this off is baking soda and water and cleaners, sponges, nothing's working. And I don't like when people film and drive, so I'm gonna be back. And we are working on getting this off with baking soda and water, and it does work pretty damn well and pretty quickly, so wiping down, we're gonna let that dry, and then we'll try again. I will say this room feels 20 feet tall. Stripes, baby. This is 8 rolls so far. We might have to order 1 more roll. And if it's 1 more roll, you know I'm gonna cry. We're down to my last corner for the day, and I wanna show you what personal hell looks like. Oh hey, 3 outlets. Cool. When things are too crazy like that, that's when I just start cutting it all up into little strips. So you guys can see how I've been getting creative with the cuts, and we'll just keep patching those in around them. I'm gonna go home for the night, and I will see you guys later. It is a new day, we've gotten some good rest, and now we are gonna take a break from wallpapering for just a second to work on another design element in this room. So you may or may not remember when I did the makeover for Brittany's guest room, and we did that wall with colorful shapes behind each painting. We're gonna do the same thing in this room. We wanna make a few elements in this room really pop, and we're gonna start with where that neon sign is by painting a black frame behind it. And what have we learned from our pencil situation, which we are now calling Pencilgate? Try to avoid using pencils on walls, it's a nightmare. So I have gone and gotten some nice orange chalk. Today we're getting real scrappy. One of the hacks, if you're gonna paint something and you wanna have a crisp line, paint the base color of the wall below it and then paint the new color over it. Unfortunately, this wall paint color is currently trapped behind a car that no one can access. What I do have is spackle. So I'm gonna do the world's tiniest, lightest trim of spackle all around this, and then we're gonna paint over that. And by the way, pro tip, something that will help you make sure that your spackle doesn't dry out fast is not losing the cap. So just like for the neon frame, we are going to paint a frame around the beautiful painting that goes here. And luckily, we don't need any spackle because this material is non-porous. And I did so much math to make sure this was right. And girl, let me tell you, you think you need a man? No, you need a level with a ruler on it. Changes lives. And by the way, ladies, they say blend your foundation. Match your finishes, hun. Our wallpaper is probably like between an eggshell and a satin, so that's what we got for this because it's going on the wallpaper. And same on this wall. emotionally preparing to finish this last wall of wallpaper. So I wanna make sure that the black ends / starts in this corner. So while I've been doing the design this way and overlapping on the right, this time I'm gonna do it the opposite way, overlap on the left. Did you need to know that? Absolutely. That was possibly the most challenging wallpapering I've ever done, and it is gorgeous. And did our spackle trick work? Oof. Oh, have you ever seen cleaner lines? All right. Next up, we are adding furniture back in. So this is a cabinet that they had, and we wanted it to be black and white. So of course, I painted the frame black, duh. Pro tip, if you're putting shelves back together, take a picture of how it was before, and so you can put everything back appropriately. I did not do that. Sorry, Brittany and Chris. Going from memory, sensing where the items were and want to be again. I'm blocking every shot, cool. These shoe cabinets were already in here. We took them out, we gave them a makeover, we gave them custom hardware. This is colorful Memphis inspired hardware. Click here to see that. Now that these are in, we're gonna add the biggest piece de resistance to this room. Now Brittany's gonna use this space to work out, and so we knew we had to get her a beautiful, amazing rug pad to start. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is literally the first time me or you or anyone is seeing this rug. Are we ready? Whew. 3, 2, 1. And of course, we're just gonna rug train this a little bit. We sourced rugs and there were a million options, and we were like, let's go as bold and bright as possible. This is a nice, comfy, but low pile rug, and since Brittany's gonna be working out on it, that's exactly what we needed for the space. Oh my God, the colors! All right, lastly, it's time to style a little bit. We're going in with some Kuntz balloons, that's right. All right, there's one more piece of the puzzle to add to today's decor. And for this next part, we're gonna wanna make it a little more intimate. Let's get sexy. We're doing laugh, cry, DIY after dark. Why? Lava lamps, baby. The inspo for this room was really black, white, and neon. And Brittany and Chris are starting a lava lamp collection, and they even wanna do potentially a full lava wall eventually. But for now, we're gonna start light, throw in a couple here and there. Now, this is the part of the makeover where we get really real and really honest and really vulnerable. And the fact is, we are gonna have a chair, a beautiful black acrylic chair, which I'm gonna put here. And it's just gonna sit in the corner because, again, actually we need most of this room to be open space so that they can do all the different things they need to do. But supply chain issues, it's not here yet, and that's okay. We have to live our lives. And before we hit your big reveal, let's christen the space properly. Well, friends, that was today's episode. This was such a fun makeover to do. Oh, okay. So if you guys liked hanging out with me, like, if you want to subscribe, and if you want more lava lamps in your life, babe, this is your sign to get them. Nope, don't fall, my girl, don't fall.